definitely didn't want that to happen. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Beehive Nation TV. I'm your host, Uncle David. Welcome to another session of Let's Talk, a conversation with Unc. What's up, Egan? Machi, how you been? Hey, Noam. Thank y'all for coming through. So what's going on, Machi? Long time no see. How you feeling? How's life been treating you? Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. If you're new, please make sure you turn my red button gray. Leave a comment so I'll remember that you've been over here, and I'll be sure to get back to you. I promise I will. So how's everybody doing this evening? Fern, what's going on? Thank you for coming through. How you doing this evening? Definitely good to see you. Thank you for coming through. Well, you know, Vern, you're the only troll that is absolutely welcome anytime you come through. Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. Have I seen y'all since Christmas? Oh, yeah, I did. I was on Saturday. I do live streams as well. Yeah, I know, Vern. I go live, do online college and hang out with friends. Puts me in Kane. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're doing well. Anybody got anything special going on for New Year's Eve? Since we really can't go nowhere, although that hasn't stopped some people. They just do what they want to do. I tell you what, they can go right ahead. We're supposed to go to Cutie Chewy's, but I don't know what's going on. Wherever they tell me to go, that's where I'll be. If we don't go nowhere, that's fine too. It's getting a little rough out here. Thank you for sharing me out, Aunt Maggie. Appreciate it. Yeah, tonight we'll be talking about vulnerability and that it is okay to be vulnerable. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to be, Vern. I don't know. I would like to go out to Cutie Chewy's, but you know, plans are subject to change quickly. I mean, you never know around here. Wow. Well, they only give us 600. That's really sad, Vern. Yeah, that is really sad, but hopefully it'll get better. Candyland, what's going on, Kevin? Thank you for coming through. How you doing this evening? I'm happy to have you here. 4? Wow. That's crazy. Wow, that is crazy and sad. I'm doing well, Jonathan. How about yourself? It's certainly good to have you here. Thank you for coming through. Thank everybody for coming through. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up. Yeah, it's getting. Thank you, Kevin. It's getting pretty rough out here. That is really sad about that little kid. This thing has no limits. So just have to make sure that we are doing the best we can. I understand that there's another, there's some more coming. Oh, well, I certainly hope you feel better, Jonathan. Get well soon. Hey, more eats. Hello, my dear. Thank you for coming through. How you doing this evening? It's good to see you. Thank you all so much for coming and sit and chit chat and listen to Unc. Like I said, tonight I'm talking about vulnerability. I remember as a kid growing up, it was always, you know, little boys, if you get hurt, you're not supposed to cry. Boys don't cry. That's all you heard. Boys don't cry, boys don't cry. And I think what happens is that once you start to suppress those feelings, it moves on into your teenage years, and then it moves on into you become an adult. Nope, I don't have no light tonight, Vern. Plus, I need to shave. So I'm not camera ready. See, Cutie Chewy is always camera ready. And she told me, she says, her famous thing is always be ready so you don't have to get ready. Well, just wasn't ready tonight. Now, it's not like I didn't know this moment was coming, but you know, they're always saying, boys shouldn't cry, and then they grow up and become men, and you start suppressing those feelings, and a lot of times it affects relationships. because you don't, learn how to communicate. It cuts into your communication skills. Yeah, Vern. I'll be ready Thursday. I promise to be camera ready. I know Thursday is New Year's Eve, but I will be going live Thursday since I usually go live at 7, and I don't think people will start partying that early. Because I figure if you start, hey, Tucker's Adventure, thank you for coming through. Welcome in. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you turn my red button gray. Leave a comment, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Yeah, but if people are starting the party at like 7 o'clock on Thursday, and the way I've seen some people party, they won't make it to 12 o'clock. So yeah, I don't think anybody. Hey, Bumby, what's going on? I am doing well. Happy holidays to you too. I am doing quite well. How about yourself? Yeah. So I've seen some people party. So if you're going to be partying that early, you may want to take a nap. I am in Maryland, Tucker. How about yourself? It's yeah. If you're partying that early and you going full throttle, you may want to take a nap and make sure you eat and drink plenty of water. But yeah, we grow up and we tend to think that we're not supposed to show emotion, and you're not supposed to let people get close to you. Hey, Vern, I'm thinking the same thing. I know I probably won't be. I probably wish I was, but oh, okay. Yeah, but nah, I won't be asleep. I know I won't be. That don't happen. But we tend to build a wall, and the very wall that we think that we're building to keep people out is the same wall that keeps us in. And so we block our emotions. We tend to not want to let people get close, and also holding those things in for men in general and men of color specifically. We tend to, it can make you sick because you're holding stuff in and you're holding stuff in and you're not letting it go, and you just, it would tear you apart. Hmm. Well, we appreciate you. I'm glad to see you back. We tend to, hold on to these emotions and hold on to these feelings, and it's hard to communicate, and it affects not only your intimate relationships, but your friends and even work relationships, business relationships, because we've always been taught that we're not supposed to, especially men, we're the strong ones, and I get that and I understand that, but it's okay to show yourself. It's okay to let people in, and it's okay to tell your story because you never know who may need to hear it. You never know who you may touch. I found that when I told the story about losing my parents and the guilt that I felt because I felt like I wasn't there. And the hardest part, again, like I said, was the last time I saw my mom, and she called me my brother's name. And it took me a while to figure out that, I knew she was ill and she had Alzheimer's, and Hey, positive motivations with Bree. What's going on? Knowing that she was ill and that the woman that I was seeing on the outside, although she looked like my mother, I knew on the inside in her brain, it just wasn't that same person. And so it took me a while to come to grips with that, because thinking that, she had forgotten who I was. But, as time went on, I figured it out. And, I learned and I stopped beating myself up about it. And I was finally able to share it because that was something that I never said out loud. And so sometimes you have to say these things out loud for someone else to hear it. And it not only helps, them, but it also helps the person telling the story. Feel free to, put your opinions or thoughts, in the chat. Let me know what y'all think. Man, Aunt Maddie wants snow all the time. I think if she could get snow in the summertime, she'd take it. Hey, Kane. She'd be like, I heard it's supposed to snow. It's supposed to snow. And I'll be like, well, I don't know, for whatever reason, I'll say, maybe it's not going to come and blah, blah, blah. She said, you just hate snow. No, I don't hate snow. It's just that, when I was a kid, I loved snow. You know what, Bree? ah, save me some, Bree. Yeah, but as a kid, I loved the snow. It was great because excuse me. One, it meant, if it depended on how much it snowed, we didn't have to go to school. Although, when I was growing up, Maryland schools, they seemed like they got out for whatever reason. Anything. It didn't take much for them to get out. But DC schools, it would actually have to be a blizzard for it to, for them to close the schools. But, playing in the snow was fun. Oh no, not a chance in Nah, Kevin. And Auntie ain't shoveling no snow. She'll go out and play in it. Ah, a box of snow. She said no returns due to the CV-19. Yeah, but a lot of people they see vulnerability as a sign of weakness. I just don't see it. I see it as a sign of strength. Because if you can stand up and tell people exactly what you're feeling, and not necessarily not just people that but also thank you for sharing me out more eats. People that you don't know. To stand up, to be able to stand up. G fam, what's up? Thank you for coming through. If you can stand up in front of people that you don't know, complete strangers, and share your some of your lowest moments. Now, I'm not saying get up here and just tell all your business, but there are some things that you can share that will help somebody else. And especially, a true sign to me, a true sign of character is if you're going through a storm and you are able to share it, not only share it with people, but also to be able to reach out and help somebody else as they are going through a storm. Putting your own sadness aside and reaching out to help somebody else. I think that is something that is very commendable. Now, it's not easy to do, but it is very selfless. And it goes a long way to your standing within the universe. Because I firmly believe that what you put out is what you get back. Hey, Anna. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it. It's giving of yourself is a wonderful thing. And as I said, being vulnerable and sharing yourself is not a sign of weakness. And it helps you get credibility with yourself. Because that is the only person that you need to impress is you. To let yourself know that, hey, I'm strong enough to share my story. Not worrying about, being judged, being laughed at, being talked about, because they're going to do that anyway. There are people that they're going to talk about you no matter what you do. No matter how rich and famous and put together you are. Hey, Jess, how you doing? Thank you for coming through. No matter how much you have it going on, they will talk about you because then they'll say, hey, look at them. They think they're better than everybody. Or if you're not so well put together and, you're in the lower end of the totem pole as they like to put us. Hey, Positive Pusher, thank you for coming through. They will talk about you. They'll say that, look at them, they trifle, they don't care. So be willing to stand up and put yourself out there. It's okay. Thank you all again for coming through. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up. As I like to say, you make sure you do it the right way. If you're new to the channel, please turn my red button gray. Leave a comment, and I promise to get back to you. It's certainly good to have everybody in here. I appreciate you all so much. Hey, Jess, I caught a little bit of your live. I didn't get a chance to say anything. I see you were taking down the Christmas tree. Speaking of which, I think I've been assigned to take the tree down. Yeah, Auntie assigned me. She hadn't said nothing else to me about it, but yeah, I think it's about that time. Because if we're not going to be here for New Year's Eve, I don't want to come back in with the New Year with the tree up. So I guess I'll take the tree down after I finish my live. So, Jess, when is Joe going to do a little video showing his Hot Wheel collection? That would be nice to see. And speaking of Hot Wheels, I like Hot Wheels too. And now I don't have a vast collection. I have a few, but for Christmas, I opened one of my gifts and there were Hot Wheels in there. I was like, oh, because usually I pick them out and I like a certain type. I'm not necessarily into the futuristic ones. I'm sort of more into the ones that look like, your normal regular cars. However, Auntie picked me out, I think it was 11. Now, she doesn't know She has no idea, nor does she. I don't think she cares what the cars look like that I have. But she managed to get me 11 cars. Okay, cool. That works. So she got me 11 cars, and there was only one that was a duplicate. And she actually picked cars that I would usually pick. Now there was maybe one, I think, but it, not off the grid there, but I was very appreciative and happy to get them. I just got to get a new. I have the little case that you use that they carry, but it's a little cheap looking case. I want something that I could put in where I can, I guess, hang it on the wall or something so people can actually see the cars. Hell, so I could see them. I kind of like to look at them. There's one specifically that I want to get that I had a chance to get a long time ago, but I didn't. And it's the Mach 5 from Speed Racer. I know I'm probably telling my age, and I don't care because everybody knows Unc is old. But yeah, the Speed Racer Mach 5. I remember going in the toy store a long time ago. My kids were kids then, and I saw it, and I was like, I should get it. I should get it. But of course, I didn't get it. I went on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but yeah, they used to. There was McDonald's. G, it's McDonald's. I can tell you for sure, it's McDonald's. But I didn't get it, and I went on Amazon one day and I saw it was like $40 or something like that. I'm like, wait a minute. Now it's a collector's item. Now I do have the Batmobile, the original Batmobile. Not the new gizmo that they have coming out. They've come out with, in recent years. But the original Batmobile. I have that one. I don't think it's a collector's item yet because it was available in the store. So hey, Keto Girl, the Keto Girl and more. Okay. All right, I appreciate you. It's all right. I appreciate you anyway. Yeah, but yeah, that's definitely old school. See, I think I made the mistake of taking them out the box, Jess. So yeah, if his is still in the box, then he's a true collector. I mean, I still have some that I haven't opened yet, and that's only probably because I don't have, I want to get a different case to put them in. But yeah, like I was saying though, being vulnerable, it's you know, it's not a bad thing. And I think once we can get rid of that stigma of, like the other day, Auntie now, she showed me this baby and she's like, he just cries all the time. And I'm like, okay. She's like, he's a little boy. Okay. He's a baby. Like I told her, I said, maybe he has a lot to say. And babies, they can't talk, so they cry. That's their way of expressing themselves. That's how they tell you when they're hungry or they're wet or they just need attention. Hold on one second, y'all. Um, Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, but lost my train of thought again. This is what happens when you get old, y'all. You really got something to look forward to. Can't remember ish. Yeah. Oh, getting. Oh, talking about the baby. You know, babies they cry, and like I said, when as you know, growing up, as we heard, you know, little boys cry. They shouldn't be crying. 25 to 45-year-old baby, still mama boys. Really, G. You know, but I think we need to do away somewhat with that stigma that men shouldn't cry, because especially if you start telling them as little boys, you know, they tend to grow up and they're standoffish. They don't know how to share those feelings. And once you're in a relationship, you know, you need to know how to share. You know, because how else will your mate know what's wrong or that something's bothering you if you don't share it? Yeah. I mean, I remember the one and only time I saw my dad cry that I can remember was when his sister passed. And we were in North Carolina and we were at the funeral. And I remember him. I mean, that was the only time that I could remember. It was like she was the baby. And that was the only time I could remember seeing my dad cry. You know, now emotions, I don't think he really had a problem showing them, especially when he was cutting my behind. You know, I think at that point I wish he had not learned how to share that, you know, disappointment or anger or whatever it was that caused him to whoop my tail. You know, so yeah. I mean that there to me that you know you should there's nothing wrong with showing, you know, your emotions. It really isn't. Because like I said, if you hold it in, you know, you tend to get high blood pressure and everybody knows what that brings along. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because with that comes compassion, empathy. And if you don't have these things or you don't have the ability to show these things, then you know that's you pass it along to the next generation. And so every generation passes it along. And so then it never stops. And so then you have a bunch of people walking around mad on the inside. I was told not to cry. I needed to be strong and push it to the side. Now I'm an adult. I'm just getting to the point. Yeah. Yeah. If you keep pushing it to the side, just push it to the side. Just hold it. Don't talk about it. Don't worry about it. Just you know, suppress it. Well, eventually it's like a volcano. You know, eventually it's going to erupt. And depending on the individual, it can get pretty ugly. You know, because once it blows up and you really they really can't stop it because it's been there so long and they've always suppressed it. And it comes out in a way that they really didn't, you know, you do or say things that you really didn't mean to say or do. And although, you know, you can't take it back, you can only, you know, ask for forgiveness. But I think we need to learn and we also need to teach how to be or how to release these things and find ways to get it out, whether it's writing it down or finding somebody to talk to. A lot of times people say, well, maybe you should go to therapy. Well, that's another stigma. I'm not sitting listening to nobody tell me nothing. What do they know? Maybe sometimes they don't know, but sometimes it's okay to talk about it so that it is, not in your head. Because if it's constantly in your, hey, cuz, thank you for coming. Love you. Because I'm just getting here. We all are unique and respond, react, feel, or perceive individually or from an individual perspective. I've learned never to generalize a world. Yeah, this is true. But you know, sometimes people just everybody reacts different, but you have to learn somewhere, somehow, that if there's something bothering you or something happens, to learn how to speak on it. And like I said, you know, first time somebody says something about a therapist, the instant thing is you're crazy. Is that why only crazy people go see the therapist? Well, thank you, G. I appreciate that. And sometimes, we worry about, what will other people think? Uh-huh. And if you're worried about what others think or what they're going to say, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Because as I said earlier, no matter what you do, there's always going to be somebody that has something to say about it. That is just the way of the world. In a perfect world, everybody would be able to express themselves and everybody would be able to get along and everybody would be able to accept everyone, but it's not a perfect world. And nor are we perfect people. But the crazy thing is, we are imperfect people in an imperfect world searching for perfection. That's really ironic, but that is what makes the world go round because we're all different. We all see things different. Hey, I hear you, cuz. Yeah, and there's a saying that, I heard a quote a long time ago. What others think about you, other people's opinions of you, is none of your business. Because they're gonna say and do and think what they want. Yeah, yeah, G. Yeah, Auntie lets me know all the time. But we have to be cognizant of what we say and what we do and how we react. And that's why I say, it is important to be able to share those feelings. And even if you don't want to talk to somebody, write it down, get it out your head. Because the longer it stays in there, the more confusing it may become, the more disruptive it may become, the more volatile it may get, depending on what it is that you're holding. So write it down. Talk to you. I have conversations with myself. Now I've been told that that's crazy, but I don't think so because I feel that if you're talking to yourself and you're having a conversation with yourself, you at least you can trust the information. You know where the conversation is going. And depending on what's going on inside your head, that may not be a good thing, but at least you know. It's it's a crazy world. And I, you live and you learn and you love. You live in a G. You should always be grateful. Shout out to the 9 people in the room. I thank y'all so much for coming through. I appreciate y'all, you know, sitting and or standing or riding and listening, or those that are participating. I appreciate you. Cuz I thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. Uh, I don't know about that one, cuz I trust what and it also depends on the information that you put in. If you are putting, you know, love you too, G. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We're here for you. We are here for you. Depending on, I try to make sure that I feed my mind with positive information. Now, don't get me wrong. We all listen to some ratchet conversations, or have ratchet conversations from time to time. We all tend to gossip a little bit. We do. So, I'm not saying that I live in this perfect world inside my head. No. But, I try to make sure that I put more positive info in than foolishness. I'm listening or reading or something. Yeah, but like I said, I try to feed my mind with positive stuff. That way I have something. I went to the store one day, gave the cashier 20. The cashier gave me change from 100. And I let the enemy get this change mentality.
So she got $80 back.
Mm-hmm. At the time,
The enemy get to us with the
change mentality. Well, there's an old African proverb, G, said, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. So once you have your mindset straight and you have everything together within you, it matters not what comes from the outside. So I said I didn't do it. It was her mistake. Yeah, well, sometimes that's what we do in order to justify something that we've done. We know, hey, we know that it wasn't right. So you had to figure out a way to justify it. And we do that. Nobody's perfect. And given the same situation, yeah, well, because you have a conscience, cuz, at that moment, it was okay. You figured out a way to justify it. But once you sat down and your mind went through all the, after the adrenaline stopped pumping, you realize that, okay, you know what? No, that wasn't the right thing to do. But and given a similar situation for somebody else in that, going through that, they may have done the same thing. And I'll be honest, I can tell you for sure, I probably would have. Hey, Miss B Town. Yes, I would have. And probably would have felt bad about it later on. But the question is, how bad would I? Would I have felt bad enough to take it back? Probably not. I'll just be honest. There are some that would, and you know, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. I'm not being judgmental either way, because I know, like I said, for me, I would have felt bad for a little while, but I would have spent that change as if it was my money from the beginning. I realized I listened to my immediate thoughts. And that is why I said you can't always trust what comes from you. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but it's your thoughts. And at that time, hey, I would have felt maybe I needed more time. You know what, G? I'm not fooling with you, bruh. I am not fooling with you. I still ain't forgot you from that game night. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, cuz. Yeah, everything happens for a reason. Everything. Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes things happen and we don't know why they happen at that particular time. But once we get to a certain destination or a certain point in our life, we look back and we're like, okay, so this is why that happened, and this is the lesson that I learned. Yeah, it was a lesson that was taught. And sometimes things happen. And you don't see it, like I said, you don't see it at the time, and you don't understand it, and you question why is this happening? What did I do wrong? And it's not always something that you did wrong. It just, there was something that needed to be taught to you, but at the time you just weren't ready to. It just wasn't revealed to you at that particular moment. You have to use hindsight in order to see what the lesson was. In the moment, you just don't understand. And the more you try to understand it in the moment, you miss the moment. So sometimes you just have to go through it and let whatever it is happen. You deal with that situation at that time. And then you go on with your life, and then you keep moving, and then we are all a work in progress. I am 58 years old, and I'm still a work in progress. We all are. And, people say, I want to be better than so-and-so. No, the only person that you really want to be better than is the person you were before. You always want to grow and continue to grow. And during that growth process, teach others and show others. Be the change that you seek. And it's okay to get stuff wrong and to screw stuff up, because the only way to get it right is to get it wrong. If you're starting a new business or a new venture, you're not going to know what you're doing. And if you're sitting and waiting to figure it out before you start, then you're going to miss out. So just I want to be better. Yes, you are, cuz we all are. And as long as you know that you want to be better, you can be better. And as long as you know that you can be better, you will be better. It's just a matter of wanting it and claiming it. Manifesting it. Always wanting to be better. Always striving to be better. And bringing other people with you. And I truly admire you for what you're doing for the homeless and the less fortunate. And my daughter is into it too. I think that it is something that is inherent in the Witcher bloodline. That wanting to give. But you're doing just fine, cuz. You are doing just fine. Trust me, it's not going unseen. It's not. So you keep doing what you're doing. I love you dearly. I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody that is coming here tonight. Thank you once again for sitting and listening to me. I will be back on Thursday. I know it's New Year's Eve, but like I said, I'll be coming on at 7. So I'll be coming on before folks start partying. Although there will be some that probably get started early that probably won't make it to midnight because they'll be asleep. But I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday, a Christmas holiday. Hey, Keto, how's school? Oh, excuse me. She just said something a few minutes ago.
I don't know if it's some trash you need to go out and leave.
Well,
I don't mind going unseen. I just want to do better. I want to say it would be easy, but it is worth it.
yeah. Well, as they say, G, if it was easy, everybody would do it. That's for sure. So it definitely ain't easy. It's simple. The process is a simple process, but it's just not that easy. And so you have to be willing to sacrifice. But you keep doing what you're doing, cuz. Love you dearly. I appreciate y'all once again for coming through. You know what? Usually I do it on Friday night, cuz, but I'm nah. New Year's Eve now because we'll be at my daughter's. But I'll probably come on Friday night. I'll definitely be on Friday night. I'm gonna do my regular Thursday, evening, conversation with Unc. And Friday will be oldies but goodies. But once again, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. I will see you all Thursday night. Until then, be happy on purpose and know that I believe in you, believe in you too. Good night. Peace.